So last episode of Road to Mastery, I did not do very well. I went 1-3, that's not good whatsoever. But today it's Sunday, we're going to try to kick some ass. We're going to try to go into the game with, some actual thinking, due process to make sure I'm not just throwing away games or walking at every hand trap known to man. And, that's the point of the series. I want to show you guys that I can improve. I want to get better at the game. I want to get at least like an invite at a regional, or, at least do well and not just X3 drop. But I think that's all I have for this intro. Let's go look at some shiny cardboard and let's try to win some locals. Alright guys, so this is what the deck list is going to look like for today. We're still on 44 cards. I'm still on Parallel Exceed because we're testing it out still with Snake Eye Ash if it ever gets impermed. I still like the idea. Also, it has a really cool inboard too if I go uninterrupted, and I can make Savage and Dweller with it. It's just, they're not playing through that. It's just nuts. I swapped Birch back for Dramatic Chase. I just like it more. It worked really well with Diabell Star too. I could pitch Dramatic Chase off Diabell Star, and then during my end phase, if I still have a monster in my spell and trap, I could banish Chase to summon it, and then on my opponent's turn make a 4-material Appaloosa. It's just nuts. Like, it just has more utility. And if I brick, I could just, be able to have plays on my opponent's turn and survive through that. But the list feels good. I'm actually pretty excited to take it in to see how it does today. That's about it for the main. Let's move on to the extra deck really quick. But the extra deck's the exact same. It's still Linkuriboh, Hida, Dark, Masquerena, Little Knight, Princess, Ambler Whale, Raging Phoenix, Zelantis, Appo, Formula, Savage, Baron, Dweller, and Banshee. Nothing really, needed to change there, so I just left it as it is. And then a lot of you guys were actually asking about my side deck. The side deck is a little awkward. It's, everyone's locals is going to be different, so I'm still currently testing out like how it feels. But let me show you. So for the side deck, we're on 3 Cosmic Cyclone. Cards is really good this format. I've even been thinking about maining it, but I guess we'll see how Sunday goes. Next up, we're on 3 Soul Release. I was doing it at 1, but then me and Jordan were talking. If I have to search it, it might be too late already, and they can just start chaining all their stuff in grave or start doing stuff, and then I just, don't have targets to hit with. Next up, we're on 2 Triple Tactics Thrust in the side. Just ways I can search out like D-Barrier and other like blowout cards. Really good too. I can search out Bonfire if needed. I can search out Monster Reborn and play through stuff. It's a good card. Next up, it's Snatch Steal. I was playing this as a gimmick, but I thought about how good it is with my current deck. I can Snatch to my opponent's monster, and then I can use my monster and send Snatch Steal to grave. This as another utility card, like, or send the monster too, like whatever. It's just good. Like, I didn't even, wasn't planning on doing it. I just wanted to be able to steal and do battle. Next up, we're on 1 D-Barrier. D-Barrier works good. Rogue Ducks, like Sword Soul, any like Trap Tricks is good. Nice. Evenly Match. You can't stop Evenly Match. I love it. I really want to do it. You can't stop Evenly Match. I'm just saying it's just cool. I want to run it at 3. I just don't think I have room at the moment. But again, I also like to try to push for game without having to do evenly. But it's really nice to bait the negate out too. Next up, we're on Magic Deflector. It's just a really good card. Shuts out Rescue Ace, any other deck that's planning on using their like quick play spells for a while, like Runic. But yeah, no, feels great. Love it. Would not take it out. And then for the last card, I'm on 3 DD Crow. It's a really good card. I love it in the mirror because you can just DD Crow the Flamebridge Dragon if they're trying to do off Princess Revival. As long as they have 1 engrave, they have 2. Just like hold on to it for Princess on their following turn. But no, the card's just good. I like that it's not a once per turn. I've been thinking about doing Bell because it does hit harder. But the only thing is Bell isn't once per turn, like I'm saying, and then you have to Bell at like the right time, because they can chain block. And then for DD Crow, I can just, play with the chain and just take something out of grave. But yeah, that's the side. It's going to change, of course, with the format when I go to different events, but that's it for locals. And I guess that's about it, guys. Let's go see how I do at locals today, and I'll see you guys in the recap. Alright guys, going to the recap, just a heads up, I am an idiot and I forgot to turn the mic on for this one. So, it's just me voiceovering this one also, so no like little bits of gameplay you can actually hear, but just my voice in your ears while I play Yu-Gi-Oh! But game 1 is against Brayden on Dark World. Brayden is a super cool dude, I love this guy. I only started recently like meeting him at locals, but the dude's awesome. He has full combo on Dark World. So for my opening hand, I opened up 2 Snake Eye Ash, 1 Thrust, Bonfire, and then Imperm. And I mean, there's an interruption there, but there's like not really a good spot to actually Imperm, I don't think so, against the deck. Yeah, so there's really not a good time to use Imperm either way, because he's going to give me Ceruli, which is going to make him discard 1 and then make me rip 2. So it didn't really matter at that point. I had, again, 2 Snake Eye Ash, which, you know, is unfortunate, but his Danger Mothman actually drew me into the 3rd Snake Eye Ash, so I just discarded that. That's why it's in grave. But I was thankful that Braden had so much gas in his deck that he actually misplayed and just ended with a different board. I didn't get fully hand ripped, thankfully, but he ended with an SP Little Knight, an Appaloosa for 4, and then the Grapha Fusion, which can change my effects. So I have to play the super smart top deck, the original Sinful Spoil Snake Eye, so it's not too bad. I do have a monster on my side still. So being able to play through that, use his body as material to actually summon something out. So off the original Sinful Spoil, I do summon out Poplar, because I know he's going to negate with Appaloosa. I am trying to get to Kirakara. I don't believe Braden knew I was main decking it, but this is the way to make sure I can clear the field. He's got big hitters, big effects I get rid of, and I just got to bait everything out. So he negates Poplar, that's perfect. I activate Bonfire here to grab Snake Eye Ash. Normal summon the Snake Eye Ash with no effect. Use its 2nd effect to send itself in Poplar to grave. He does try to Appaloosa negate there, but I use the Imperm in my hand because I control no more cards. He does train Grapha to that. That's perfect. That's what I wanted. My last card in hand, Thrust. Activate Thrust. Grab Monster Reborn. Monster Reborn does stubborn Snake Eye Ash back onto the field, which he changes SP Little Knight to, banishing the Ash and Nessie, which lets me add Kirakara, and I'm able to board wipe the big monsters there, do some damage, and then I'm pretty much just sitting on Kirakara for a while. And then during my end phase, I do use Kirakara to revive his SP Little Knight. That way I can have follow-up interaction and make sure he doesn't have recursion and just big body swarming the field over and over. And that play actually is what won me game 1. He wasn't able to recur as much or climb as high as he wanted to with his links, so he was able to just spin back Kirakara, beat over the SP, doesn't have enough for lethal. Snake Eye Ash does come back during the end phase, so I just am able to recur and just kind of keep playing through. Pretty much have full Snake Eye combo and just OTK him here. But yeah, game 1 was crazy. He made me really think for it just to make sure I played correctly, so that was an awesome game. And let's move on to game 2. Game 2, Braden decides to go first again, but unfortunately his hand isn't as crazy as game 1. He's able to make a board of Muckraker, Grapha from main deck, and the Grapha Fusion, as well as Ascension set to make colorless on my turn. He passes over to me, and my hand is pretty much just all engine plus talents. So the plan here is to either board wipe him, or to make him board wipe me, and I can Kirakara his last monster, and that's actually what ended up happening. I special summoned Diabellstar by pitching a Snake Eye Ash to set the original, then I normal summoned Snake Eye Ash, which does force him to use the Grapha effect change, which opens up talents for me, and I take the Grapha there, and then that's when he's able to board wipe me there. I think he's got the whole field cleared, forgetting that original has a different effect in grave, so I banish that, put back a Snake Eye Ash, get Kirakara, take out his field, do some damage. And unfortunately his top deck was called by, so it isn't very helpful, and that's pretty much where he offers up the handshake. But that was round 1, good games to Braden, and let's move on to round 2. So for round 2, I'm up against Sho, and he's currently on Goaty. I win the die roll, and I have complete gas. He has 0 interruptions, so I'm just going to make the full board here. Start off with activating Temple, set the Flame Burge, normal summon Snake Eye Ash, get Poplar, and it's complete combo from here, being able to add Dramatic Chase, and then I'm able to make Link Karibo, summon Diabellstar, set the original Sinful Spoil, send the Link Karibo, get Jet Synchron, make Savage, get the Link Karibo back on field, and then just complete Snake Eye lines. So send that in Ash, get Oak, Oak revive Ash, and then Oak is going to send itself in the Flame Burge that's currently in the Spell and Trap to get another Flame Burge out of deck. Make IP Masquerena, Flame Burge engrave triggers, revive 2 level 1 fires, Jet Synchron effect engrave, pitch a card, revive itself, make Formula Synchron, draw a card. Like, this is just a crazy combo. And then Princess is generic, so I'm able to make it with Formula and IP. Princess revives Flame Burge, Spell and Trap the Formula, link off for Amblo Whale here, set 1 card, pass over the Sho, Sho draws. In his draw phase, I do activate Flame Burge to revive the Formula Synchron. He activates White Sardine first to send self and then special it. He normal summons level 6, and then on resolution I do Synchro Summon here for Baron de Fleur, and then he adds Paces, and then a new chain or revive the level 1s, Oak revives Popular, then I'm adding Kirakara, and then Sinful Spoil Subversion. He's able to try to activate Hypnosis, I negate that, and then I'm able to just Ash Blossom the field spell. He sets 1, passes over to me, I draw a card. In standby he revives Paces, but in standby I activate the Imperm I had set. I Subversion push back his level 6 Spell and Trap, and honestly that's kind of about wraps here. I make a 4 material Appaloosa just in case, and honestly kind of just a flex. Banish the original Engrave, put back Oak, grab Ash, normal summon, and there's nothing else you could really do. I had the negate from Baron still, and I had lethal on board, so Sho picks it up and we move on to game 2. Game 2, Sho unfortunately bricks, sets 1, passes to me, I draw phase, wanted, he does respond with Ash Blossom, that's fine. Main phase, I normal summon Snake Eye Ash to grab Poplar. On resolution, he does have the Droll, which is fine because I respond with Talents, get rid of the Bell out of his hand, and then I start playing, I link off, Parallel Exceed comes out, and then he just pretty much scoops it up. It's unfortunate that Sho bricked. I really want to have a good back and forth with Goaty because I've never really played it against it before, but good games to Sho, and let's move on to our round 3. Round 3, I'm up against Draco, and Draco's actually got his Speedroid Cashier deck profile on my channel right now, so make sure you guys check it out. But I won the die roll, I'm gonna go first. Just in case he had Droll, I do play safely around it. I activated 1 in draw phase, I set up my Dia Bellstar stuff first, then I use Bonfire, go straight in the Poplar, set up the full board, and because he didn't have Droll, I'm able to go Poplar straight into Dramatic Chase, activate that, set up Dia Bellstar, then during the end phase, I can banish Chase to special summon Masquerena now. That way during his draw phase, Flamebridge can special summon Dia Bellstar instead, set up the original Sinful Spoil Snake Eye, able to combo off for my turn, have follow up, and then when he special summons Fenrir, I go ahead and make a 4 material Appaloosa, and essentially he just scoops it up here. I think he made the right call though. I don't know the Speedroid Cashier deck very well, so I don't know what the proper spot to interact with was. So when he's able to go first the next turn, he just sets up a full board, and I gotta just try to maneuver through that. So for game 2, I'm actually not gonna talk throughout most of this duel. I'm just gonna catch you guys up at the end, okay? So, after a very intense back and forth, Draco got the game. He just had an impressive board I just couldn't break through. Called by plus Imperm was just a shutout for me. I feel like I played this as best as I really could. Making Hida, though, definitely wasn't the right call. I didn't have anything else I really could have gone in at the moment. He took out my Zelantis, he took out Princess. Hida was made because if he destroyed it by battle or card effect, I would have been able to add. But I had just forgotten I drolled. And another misplay that happened was we both forgot SP Lower Knight to come back, so we were both short a body, but nonetheless, that match was absolutely crazy. Big shout out to JayDYGO for just making it a crazy intense duel. And let's move on to our round 4. For the final round of the night, I'm up against Aiden on Trap Tricks, and unfortunately I didn't get the duel for game 1. I think I ran out of storage on my SD card and it just didn't look beforehand. But I was able to get the screenshot, so I hope you guys can deal with that. I was able to actually OTK Aiden too. It was really cool. I was able to play through like Banishing Trap Hole, Sarah and Putica effects, stuff like that, set up the OTK. All I really remember is I was able to use Subversion to put his Caleria into the spell and trap, and I was able to use Flamer to put Sarah into the spell and trap. That way, if he was able to get more back row, he could only play with 3 and not 5. But other than that, that was game 1. Sorry, it's a little boring from just me talking on this one, but here's game 2. Game 2, Aiden decides to go first, and unfortunately he overextends too early and misplays, so he messes up having a crazy board and only ends with Trap Trick Sarah, Mantis, and 3 back row. Aiden passes over to me and my hand's absolutely nuts, so I go standby, main phase. Main phase activated wanted because I had Thrust and Talents in hand. I wanted them live. He does Ash that, that's perfect, get the interruption out. Go to battle phase, I open the Evenly. He does have the Judgment for that, perfect, get that out of the way. Main phase 2, I activate Thrust to grab the original Sinful Spoil Subversion, push back the Sarah so in case he had another trap live, it wouldn't have the full effects of Sarah, so that was perfect. Then I start playing Snake Eye Ash normal summon, he does Banishing Trap Hole, able to play through that, make the full board here essentially, and then on his turn I'm able to make Appaloosa before he can start doing stuff with Sarah and everything. Video does kind of cut off towards the end here, but he makes Rafflesia and I do pop it with Princess, and that's honestly the game there. But great games everybody today. 3-1 record, a complete reverse of what happened last episode, so that's a lot better. Oh yeah. Going 3-1 today sure did feel a whole lot better than that embarrassing 1-3 record I showed the other day. I was able to actually do stuff, play correctly, not, you know, slip up on every interaction here and there. A couple misplays is going to happen, of course, but again, I need to just sharpen my instincts, play better, don't stress the small stuff. But as we're playing Sunday Locals, I know the Team YCS is still going on in Las Vegas. I know Fire is currently dominating the format, but I want to see what the pro players are actually playing, like what their ratios look like, what their size looking like, you know, what tech options they really want to advertise to say like this is good, this format. Regionals are going to be a completely different step from Locals, of course. It's not like a YCS, but I need to still have that competitive edge to it. And I want to see if they're doing like Summon Limit, Dark Ludo more, you know, it's tech like that that I've been like debating back and forth with. But guys, that's kind of about it for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. Remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys for episode 3.